In 2026, the gap between the rich and the poor isn't just growing, it's accelerating at a speed most people don't even notice. And the dangerous part isn't that people are poor, it's that they think they're doing everything right, while slowly falling behind. At the center of this divide is a man who built a fortune exceeding $100 billion by doing things that look simple, but feel impossible to follow. Warren Buffett didn't win because he was the smartest person in the room. He won because he followed rules that most people ignore, reject, or never even hear about. And here's the problem. If you don't understand these rules, you're not just standing still. You're losing. Quietly. Gradually. Then suddenly. Because the system most people follow isn't designed to make them rich. It's designed to keep them functional. You were taught how to earn money. You were never taught how to build wealth. And those are two completely different games. Before we get into the rules, understand this. Most people spend their entire lives optimizing the wrong thing. They try to earn more instead of becoming someone who keeps and multiplies money. That's why raises don't fix their life. That's why promotions don't change their future, because the core behavior stays the same, and that's exactly where rule number 1 begins. Rule number 1, the poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. This isn't motivational kalam. This is a structural difference in how life is built. The average person depends on effort. Time equals money. No time, no money, and they accept this as normal. They wake up, go to work, get paid, and spend most of it just to maintain their life. Then they repeat, not because they want to, because they have to. Now look at how Buffett thought about money. He wasn't asking, how can I earn more? He was asking, what can I own that earns for me? That single shift changes everything. Because when you own assets, your time is no longer the limit. Your money becomes productive. It works while you sleep. It grows without your direct involvement. Stocks, businesses, income-producing assets. That's what builds wealth, not effort alone. Here's the harsh truth. If you stop working and your income disappears, you're not stable. You're exposed. And most people live their entire lives in that state, without realizing it. They think they're safe because money's coming in, but they're one interruption away from collapse, and even when they manage to increase their income, they still don't escape. Which leads to the second rule. Rule number 2. The poor increase spending when income rises. The rich increase investing. This is where most people destroy their own progress. Every time they earn more, they upgrade their life. Not dramatically, quietly. A better phone, a better car, more subscriptions, more convenience. It feels like growth, but it's not. It's a trap that scales with income. Their expenses rise at the same speed, sometimes faster, so no matter how much they earn, they stay in the same position. Always needing the next paycheck, always dependent. Buffett didn't play that game. He kept his lifestyle stable while his income grew, which created something most people never build, a gap. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only place wealth can exist. No gap, no wealth. It's that simple. Every dollar inside that gap can either be wasted or deployed, and deployment is what creates leverage. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a behavior problem. They consume their future to feel better in the present, and then they wonder why nothing changes. But here's where it gets worse, because even people who understand this still fail. Which brings us to rule number 3. Rule number 3. Being smart doesn't make you rich. Being disciplined does. Intelligence is overrated in money. Behavior is everything. You've seen people with degrees, skills, knowledge, still struggling financially, and you've seen others, average at best, quietly building serious wealth. The difference is consistency under pressure. Buffett didn't rely on motivation, he relied on rules. And more importantly, he followed those rules when it was uncomfortable. During market crashes, people panic. They sell because everyone else is selling. They react emotionally. They try to escape the pain. Buffett moves in the opposite direction. He buys when fear is at its peak. Not because it feels good, because it makes sense. And that's the difference between knowing and doing. Most people know what they should do, spend less, invest consistently, think long term, but when reality hits, they break. Discipline is doing the right thing when it feels wrong, and without it, nothing else matters. But even discipline can be destroyed by one powerful temptation: speed, which leads to rule number 4. Rule number 4, the poor chase quick money. The rich trust slow growth. This is where patience separates outcomes. People are addicted to fast results. They want visible progress immediately. They want proof that what they're doing is working, so they chase trends, jump between opportunities, look for shortcuts, anything that promises speed. But speed in money usually comes with risk or illusion. Buffett built his wealth through compounding, a concept so simple, most people underestimate it. Small gains, repeated consistently, over long periods. At the beginning it looks insignificant, slow, boring, almost pointless. This is where most people quit, because nothing exciting is happening. No big wins, no dramatic changes, just steady growth. But compounding doesn't reward impatience, it punishes it. Because the real growth happens later, much later, after years of consistency. That's when the curve starts to rise sharply. That's when small efforts turn into massive outcomes. But most people never reach that point. They interrupt the process, they reset the clock again and again, and because of that, they stay stuck at the beginning forever, busy, but not progressing. And even if someone avoids all of this, there's still one final trap that decides everything. Rule number 5, the poor follow the crowd. The rich think independently. Humans are wired to follow, to copy, to move with the group. It feels safe. It reduces doubt. But in money, safety is often an illusion, because the crowd reacts late. When something is trending, it's already expensive. When something feels scary, it's often undervalued. Buffett built his reputation on doing the opposite, being calm when others panic, being cautious when others get greedy. This isn't about being different for the sake of it. It's about thinking clearly when others can't. Independent thinking is uncomfortable. You will doubt yourself. You will feel like you're wrong, especially when everyone else seems confident. But that discomfort is the price of advantage. If you think like everyone else, you get average results, and average results don't build wealth. Now here's the part most people don't want to hear. None of these rules are hidden. None of them are complicated. But almost nobody follows them, because they require you to go against your instincts, against your environment, against what feels normal, and that's hard, really hard. So here's what actually matters. Not understanding these rules, living them, building systems around them, repeating them, even when nothing seems to be changing. Because change in money is delayed. You won't see results immediately. You won't feel progress every day. But if you stay consistent long enough, the results become impossible to ignore. So the real takeaway is this: stop focusing only on earning. Start focusing on owning. Create a gap between income and spending and protect it. Turn that gap into investments. Stay disciplined when emotions try to take over. Be patient enough to let time do its job, and think for yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable. Do this for years, not weeks, not months. Years. Because that's the real secret behind every large fortune. Consistency over time. Most people won't do this. They'll look for something easier, faster, more exciting, and they'll stay exactly where they are. But a small percentage will understand this and act. And those people will slowly separate from everyone else. The gap will widen, just like it always does. So the question isn't whether these rules work. They do. The question is whether you'll actually follow them. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. Because the difference between staying broke and building wealth is simple: learning what others ignore and having the discipline to apply it. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start using time as your advantage. You stop chasing complexity and start trusting simplicity. You stop relying on discipline and start building systems that work without you. And slowly, the results begin to show, not instantly, not dramatically, but steadily, predictably. And that's the point. Because real wealth doesn't come from sudden breakthroughs. It comes from long-term alignment between what you do and what actually works. So if you're smart, that's not your advantage. Your advantage is whether you can stop relying on it and start doing what most intelligent people refuse to do. Keep it simple, stay consistent, and play the long game. Because in 2026, the people who win with money are not the smartest in the room. They're the ones who stopped trying to be